things that the Lord told me today as I wept and cried. I don't know how long I cried in my prayer closet, but I just wept when I heard him say, Sheila, I want my sweetness back. And when he said that, I tuned in and listened a little harder. He said, because what's missing in my church, what's missing in the homes, what's missing in relationships and family is the original design creation of the woman. God says the femininity is missing out of the church. The femininity is missing out of the homes. Children can't tell who's the mother and who's the father anymore, because there's been such a disruption and dysfunction. You may call it old-fashioned and tradition, but I never heard my grandmother humiliate her husband, my grandfather. Never heard her be rude and loud. If they were in a disagreement about parenting, they discussed that privately. They never crossed roles. They said stuff like this. When our grandmother said, I'm going to tell your granddaddy when he come home, we knew. We knew that was trouble. Because I would hear my granddaddy say stuff like this. That's my wife. Huh? You don't talk to my wife like that. My grandfather had 7 sons and 1 daughter. He said, that's my wife. No. That's my wife before she was your mother. And so back then, that meant something. It was some type of order. It was a line of respect. And when that comes back into the house, we will see the blessings that Jesus spoke through the Apostle Peter about. 1 Peter 3. He said that a woman is to honor her husband. And so there's a movement. There's a movement. That's why there was a big invitation open up again for me, and I denied it. I turned it down because I don't want to be a part of a movement that is a disorder. It's a disruption of God's order. I'm not going to be a part of a movement where women say, I don't need no man. You don't need no man to build your character. I'm not in agreement with that. I don't need a man to build me, but I need a man to protect me. I need a man to love me. I need a man to love my children. And so we need, see, you got to be careful that if you don't break the order, you got to be careful. And because of circumstances, God grants us the grace. When we're careful, when we honor God. Divorce was never the heart of God. He said because of the hardness of men's hearts. He said, I granted divorce. But God never intended for divorce to be, because he wanted his family knitted together. But he said because of the hardness. And he said these words. I remember this when I first got saved. He said, if you want to know the signs of the end of days, they'll be given in marriage. They'll be drinking and gambling. That's what the Bible said. Meaning that the traditional marriage would no longer be honored, that men and women would not stay together for the love and the forsake. What happened to death do you part? What happened for rich or poor? Some of you being tested right now. Your husband should never be afraid to come home that he's lost his job or been laid off. Some men are afraid that they go to the bar and stay there for 2 hours because they don't want to deal with that dragon woman, that dragonfly. That's not what we're supposed to be. And I'm not trying to insult you today. I'm only giving you what God gave me. He says, I'm calling back for my royal daughters. He's calling us back for that design that he gave us. I could feel the hand of the Lord on me. You see, my brothers and sisters, man didn't make us. God created us with his own hands. He laid man down, put him to sleep, and went to work and created this original design that there's none like us on the earth. You can try to compare us to a monkey all you want to, but that's not how God designed us. And when God had the ideology in his creation to make a woman, he made us so different. He's the one that gave us a Coca-Cola bottle shape. He's the one. And even when he went in and took one of Adam's ribs and made a woman, the ribs is on one side and the vertebrae is on the back, if I'm not making a mistake in my science. Did you not know that the woman's vertebrae is different than the man's? Do you know that there's a part of the vertebrae that is created different? It's turned different. You want to know why? Because it's for birthing. Oh, it's for birthing. Men don't have that one. Their vertebrae is turned a different way than ours. But one of those vertebrae are turned differently so that we can carry the package. That we could be pregnant to carry a baby. That's why a man can't have one. I don't care how much surgery he go and have. He can't do it because this comes from the original package. And so in order to get a baby, if they want a baby, they still have to go find a surrogate mother. And all of their technology and all their creation, they cannot duplicate this original design of God. That being said, as God began to journey me back, I wept. I fell down and I wept and I said, God, make me a better mother. Make me a better woman. Make me a better auntie. Make me a better sister. Make me a better sister-in-law. Because when he said it, I identified with it. When he says, I'm calling for my sweet perfume. I'm calling back for femininity. And I know that's almost like a, bad word in this society because we have these feminist movements. And most of the time, they are led by infidels. It is a demonic, diabolical assignment with some rich woman who don't want to get married. Therefore, she has the money and the power to rule her house. But that's not the design of God's will.